guys can as well. In the process of the stream being down, Johan has gone to pole position with a 7.344. Then we got Twist in second, Will Murdoch in third, and Devin in fourth, all on a .3. Brazil, it shows that how close racing can really be towards each other. We got Lars, Stein, Knoof, Zorzo on a .4, and then for the .5s we got Xavi, Ryan, Rens, and then Kryptonite just being with a .7 there. But I am sure that he will be improving on a lap that he's going to be starting just now. But let's actually favour it towards someone else who's more towards the end of their lap.
Yeah, and Nuth was actually just starting up on one. We should be live, we should be okay now. It is high CPU, so I'll just monitor that throughout the night. Hopefully it's not going to be too bad. It's Johan out on top, Tristan second, Will Murdoch in third, as TDP has rightfully said. Tyne is towards the end of his lap, he's actually down a lap, so I think Nuth might be the next one actually on a run.
No, Krypton.
Kryptonite is the next one on the run. He is actually through the middle sector, coming through turn 9, in towards Laranjao at turn number 10, which translates to orange, weirdly, in Spanish. I don't know why they call it after that, but you never know. Coming through the left-hander now of turn number 11, and then through the left-hander of turn number 12 at Jun Sao. Kimi Raikkonen famously got lost, of course, in 2012 around there. 50.9 in that middle sector from Krypton. It's not looking too bad at all. The sun now glazing onto the track as Renz now goes third. Not a bad lap there at all from the NLD man as Kryptonite comes to the line and he goes 8th, so he goes quicker than Nuth. Nuth improving, however, he is back up his lap. Oh, is that Ryan now?
And Ryan going fully to the top. With a .3 as well. Well, I'm very confused because Ren seemed to be saving ERS when I went on board with him. So I kind of crossed him out on him being on a lap. Lars will be starting another lap right now. Brazil does give you the opportunity to do 4 hot laps, which is the beautiful thing of this track. That's definitely why Lars went out so early. And I think Devin has gone early with that reason as well. But he is coming towards the end of the lap. And Devin is currently a 10th quicker. He will probably be going on to pole unless he screwed up his final corner. Devin with a 7.248 going to provisional pole, James.
Yeah, very good qualifying session from Devon so far, and that's what he needs, of course, for P2 in the championship. He's currently holding that position right now in qualifying, or coming into tonight, I should say. Lars, however, is on a run, so the Talon Factory man of Lars is on a run. He's now come to the left-hander of turn number 9. Jess has said we are all good now, thank goodness for that. I would have thrown my laptop out the window if that was the case, but Devon down on top, Ryan in second, Johan there in third. Lars now coming to the left-hander of turn number 11 and now in towards Jun's out turn 12. Matching Kryptonite in the middle sector, he's 400s down on his lap, and the AlphaTauri now coming up the hill and towards the Vita Dust Boxes at turn 14, and then through the left-hander turn 15, of course, all the way towards the checkered flag, and Lars has backed off, and he is back in the pit lane, currently 7th in qualifying, but only a 10th and a half, covering, what, 9, 10 drivers. Not a bad qualifying session at all, and the top 12 are covered by 2.5 tenths.
Yeah, but that will be changed because QRT Twist is on an absolutely amazing lap time. The QRT driver, he's definitely going to be beating Devin by the looks of things. He was improving by more than a 10th. He only goes actually up to P2, so a poor final corner cost him the pole position time right there. But he's the second driver to slot in with a .2. And he will have enough time to head back into the pit lane and to prepare himself for that final run. He's going to be the only car out on track, and everyone will be waiting until the last seconds, having the best track conditions and being as ready as ever. And this grid is so incredibly close. It's a mid .2 and a very, very low .5 between the whole grid. Of course, only 12 drivers. We would have loved to see some more, but towards the end of the game, that cycle will happen and less drivers will be driving, unfortunately. We got a Mercedes that is out early, and I do not know what it is. It's Ryan, actually.
It is the OP man of Ryan, formerly, I think, of QRT, if I'm not mistaken. They're in third. Everything should be fine now in terms of the CPU. Hopefully everything is good with the game sound as well. Hopefully it's not on a delay. I'm having enough problems today so far. But Ryan coming out the pit lane, and he's taken the very high revving glitch that we are seeing recent weeks. Of course, the neutral glitch, I think it's called, actually, where you've got the high revs going. He's trying to weigh some of that fuel away. He's there in third position right now as Ryan on a 107.329. He's only got a 10th of a second to gain on Devon, and so far it has been so good from Ryan's perspective. Johan there, recent signing for Outplayed Racing in 4th as well, a 107.3 3, and he'll be looking to try and improve maybe on his run when he comes out. We have got around about 3 minutes left in the session. It's Devon out on top with Twist in second. Ryan there currently in third position. Hopefully if everyone is doing well on this fine Monday evening for PSGL F2. If you want a title decider tonight, PSGL F1 is the place to be. Even though I said TF Max won the championship last week, he didn't. He had a penalty, a 10-second penalty I think was added to his time at the end of the race, and therefore that championship battle goes on with Jess Games and Aidan Carter taking to the action, of course, at 8 PM UK time. So in, what, 30... I've lost count of maths. 42 minutes time. Devon out on top, Twist in second, Ryan in third for now, as Ryan now sets up on his lap coming through the centre rest of turn 3.
Yeah, definitely. The first sector is maybe the most important here. It's very easy to invalidate in turns 1, 2, and 3, and Ryan not really improving. He's 18,000 per second, currently slower than his previous best. He had the opportunity to save this ERS and to burn a little bit more fuel to prepare himself ready for the final lap. That's what I used to do, but he decided to stick with it, and that first sector was good enough. It's all now here in the second sector. You don't want your tires to overheat, but you do want to be pushing to the absolute limits. You want to get as close to the grass as possible because you can really ride these curbs on the exit. Not that it might be quicker, but you definitely have the opportunity for mistakes to go a little bit wide. Coming out of the second sector now, it is nearly a 10th up. It's 48 thousandths of a second that he is going quicker, but he does have a slight moment at the end of the final corner. Not actually the final corner. This is the final corner we're going through now, but it's the final braking corner. Ryan, will he go up to first? No, he will not. 55,000 of a second improvement. He improves his time, but on this position, he is currently stuck in third.
Yeah, and the man on pole position is just setting up on a run now. Devon coming through the centre rest of turn 1, 2, and then to the left-hander of turn number 3. Twist is there in second position as well. It's coming a little bit laggy now on mine, so just going to bear with. Keith Mash there in the chat saying who's on comms. Myself, James Head, and Mr. FBR Tarman, otherwise known as TDB. He is going to be talking you through, of course, as co-commentator for tonight. It is Devon out on top, it's Twist in second, it's Ryan there in third. As Devon now comes through the right-hander of turn number 6 of Ferradura, famously by Glock, Trulli, and Alonso made a crash in 2009. Big problems coming through there, as Jonathan McGod said on BBC F1 commentary back in the day. As Devon now comes through into the right-hander of turn number 10 at Laranha. Not looking very bad lap actually from Devon coming through this middle sector. Should be around 50.8, I think, in the middle sector. Oh, dead on, 50.8. Purple in the middle sector. Xavi is retired, I think, in the pit lane, so that is him done. In fact, actually, no, Xavi has crashed out on track coming from the left-hander of turn number 9, that is, on the exit of turn 9. Turn 10 as Devon now, the Dutchman, on the run toward the line. Is he going to go and consolidate pole position? No! In the end, only a 10th off his time. Not a bad lap there at all. Twist is up there in the first sector, so Twist is going to try and twist and shout his way to pole position out of the track now, coming through Ferradura at turn number 6. Johan is done. Renz is done. They didn't actually have time, I think, to complete laps, so in the end, they are done. Twist, though, is the main man to watch out for. Anybody else of note that is on a lap and improving time? BP is not on a lap.
Not improving.
Will Murdoch's purple in the middle sector, apparently. Will Murdoch is coming alive. Has a huge snap of oversteer, though, coming through Jun Sao. Has to correct the car. Now through Sabina Dos boxes at turn 14. Then through the left-hander at turn number 15. Will Murdoch may be going pole position here. On the run to the line. Oh, and he goes short. 4th position in the end. Twist, though, surely on pole position. A 10th of a second improvement to the line. He does. 107.2. Big lap time in from him. Zozo is done. Nuth has just improved to 7th there as well. Good lap from him. But in the end, Twist and shout like the Beatles back in the day. He is on top from Devon there in second. And in the end, it is the main man, I believe. And I will just confirm this now coming to the end of that qualifying session. It is, of course, Ryan there in third with Will Murdoch in fourth. We'll have a look at the full grid order right now. It is Twist out on top from Devon in second, Ryan there in third, Will Murdoch in fourth, and wow, 3/10 of a second covering the whole field is mad. A 10th of a second is even madder. Johan there in fifth, Renz in sixth, Nuth there in seventh, Lars there in eighth, Time there in ninth, Krypton in 10th, Zozo in 11th, and Xavi top 12. 3/10 of a second covering the top 12. We are going to go for our intermission break from our title sponsors, GT Maker, and we will see you back in 30 seconds, unless the stream crashes again. And that was a word from, of course, our title sponsors, GT Omega. You can find more information in the description of this very video below. Second stream, of course, for F2. We are very special over here in F2. PSGL, though, use that code at checkout for 5% off on all GT Omega products. And you can also have a look at Grid Rival and join the Fantasy League that is also involved as well. 15 seconds ago, Tarman, what are we looking forward to here in Brazil?
Well, we don't know what we're looking ahead of. We do know, hopefully, that it's going to be an amazing race. But it always will be an interesting one with a lot of unknowns. We do know that the lights will be going out very soon.
We will be indeed. 5 results now coming out here on track. It's the season finale of PSGL F2. And it is lights out and away we go. Twist gets a very good start. Devon gets a slightly better start. And he's now pulling alongside in towards the centre rest at turn number 1. Already a little bit of squirming further down the field. Javi and Zolzo getting quite close. But Devon and Twist are side by side through the centre rest, through turn number 2. And Devon has to cut across there just slightly. And now come across on Ryan, who's nearly 3 wide. And they go down the Retroposter 3 wide in towards turn number 4 to see the Lago. Great start by everyone. Ryan has to back out. And Twist, I think, is just going to hang on to the lead. Coming through the left-hander turn number 4 to see the Lago. It's Twist that lead from Devon there in second. Ryan there in third. Will Murlock there in fourth. Kryptonite and Zolzo are having to fight further down the field as well. But a great start by Twist. Great start by Devon. Really applying the pressure on. There's a bit of a moment there in the back where I think Nuth got caught on the outside curb. Not sure if he got caught up maybe with Zolzo there, if I'm not mistaken. But Nuth is certainly around. He spins at the back of the field. He's down in 12. Unfortunate start for the German. Great start though by Twist, who currently leads. As Lars has dived out at Javi.
Yeah, Knuf got a tap on his rear wheel. That's all I could see, not knowing where it was. Xavi indeed going on. B8 there, coming from last place. He has been the person with the best start, but Lars getting a better exit out of the final corner, using some of the ERS last week at the final run in qualifying, is looking for revenge. He needs a very good result to salvage P2 in the standings. Xavi moving a little bit on him on the straight, but Lars later on the brakes wants to make the move stick, but Xavi keeps his car around the outside there, gets given enough space, and Lars makes that move stick. Absolutely incredible overtake there by Lars. And unfortunately, Leon did get wing damage, or I mean Knuf, I'm sorry. He did pick up wing damage, and he will be dropping back a lot. It's good to see that he will be continuing on this smaller grid. You never know what will happen, and one safety car will absolutely bring you back in the game.
Yeah, one safety car will change it all around here in Brazil. Javi and Lars, though, fantastic battle between them both. Not a half an inch given between them both. Fantastic racing. Zolzo now capitalising on that. He's on the back of Javi all of a sudden. But the front 11 are covered in a DRS train. The potential split coming maybe from Tyne and Lars, 7th and 8th position. But Twist currently holding the lead. Devon there in second, Ryan there in third. Purple middle sector there from Twist, indicating he is faster than everyone else. Currently out on track. I wouldn't blame that whatsoever, because I think there are going to be plenty of drivers setting fastest lap, as Will Murdoch is on the back of Ryan coming down the straight. Position gains, by the way. The top 6 have remained as they are, as long as Lars has remained there in 8th position. Will Murdoch, speaking of which, sets the fastest lap for the race as well. 3 positions gained for Javi, 2 for Tyne, 1 for Zolzo. Most positions lost is Nuke after that slight moment coming out of the left-hander of turn number 9, which is unfortunate for him. Down in 12, picked up from wing damage, and he is on that set of medium compounder tyres. And if you are brand new, of course, to Formula 1 racing and don't know what hards, mediums or softs are, medium basically is the middle of the 3 available compounder tyre. Hards is the hardest of the compounder tyre. That indicates to me not only that they're going to go towards the end of the race on this dry setup, on this dry compounder tyre, it will be a dry race as well, because they're all starting on that set of hards. And also, we have got everyone within a big old DRS train as well. The other compounder tyre, of course, is the soft. They are the softest of the compounder tyre, the quickest, but the furthest wearing as well. And that is why nobody selected to go on a set of soft compounder tyres, maybe until around lap 22, 23, when they could.
Well, it's only now an official DRS train, because DRS has now been activated for this lap, and immediately putting on the ERS, putting on the DRS. Devon will be going for the lead immediately compared to Twist. Twist is defending up the inside, using his ERS, using his battery, but Devon able to brake so much later, but a bit too late, and Twist is able to take back the position. Attack 1 being defended by Twist, both burning a lot of ERS. Ryan wanting to maybe grab hold of that for in the future, but he does still have Will Murdoch on his back for both, I think, DRS and both Mercedes is not really attacking each other right now. Devin, though, clearly saying, I think I am quicker than this DRS train currently. I have the pace to go for the lead, to go for the win. Let me lead this train and let me try and break away from it. He's not been able to do so. First opportunity, the gap that he had to close on there was very, very big. If it was a bit of a closer gap, he would have been able to break earlier and actually still keep hold of the position. But let's see if he can improve his overtaking attempt this time round. The gap is 4 tenths. Let's see if he goes for it again. You gain ERS very quickly here around Brazil, and he is burning again. Devin's just going to go for it again. ERS on, DRS open, going for the exact same move. Twist this time, not defending with ERS, he's just going to be letting it go. He does stick his front wing up the inside though. Perfect amount of space given by Devin, and Devin takes the lead with an absolutely stunning overtake. Twist though, wanting to maybe get back at it. Twist now having the DRS, but he is waiting for the big straight.
Yeah, he's waiting for the big straight indeed. He's doing a fantastic job as Twist there on the back of Devin. Devin currently holding the lead of the race now from Twist in second. There's also a battle further down the field as Zolzo gets the elbows out there on Javi. He's lost position, and now Kryptonite down the inside line in towards Ferradura at turn number 6. The Red Bull tries to hang it to the inside line, and that was just silly. He knows better than that. We know he knows better than that, and he's still trying to dip that the Red Bull, up the inside line of the Aston Martin. Silly from Kryptonite, down 11th position, and maybe the retirement home is going to come calling after all.
It was such slight contact. You shouldn't be able to make a move there, but if you do, it's an absolutely stunning one. Xavi had a really poor exit because he was just turning into the rear tire of Zorzo. Kryptonite saw that, anticipated the lack of speed, and knew that he was able to easily put his car halfway alongside him. I wouldn't say there wasn't enough space given by Xavi. It's just some very, very slight contact that spun his car around. No major contact. It was unlucky. Kryptonite, no damage. He's able to continue. And he is now wishing for a safety car alongside Knoof.
Yeah, if you want to be really harsh, I think, with that incident, both of them, I think, have got as much to blame in that as the other. But in the end, Javi should have gave a little bit more room, I think. It's a very difficult corner as well. Turn number 6, Ferradura, is such a difficult corner. It's off camber. And by off camber, I mean it is literally off. You're literally going one way rather than the actual corner, and you're always going left-hand side coming out. As Will Murdoch was on the back of Ryan for 4th. I'm not sure if he was actually looking for the move there on the back of Ryan coming through turn number 7. Doesn't get the job done for now, but Devin holding the lead of the race from Twist there in 2nd. Ryan there in 3rd. Gap is now 6/10 of a second between the guys out on track. A 6th of the way through the race as well. Hope you all enjoying this on this fine Monday night. If you are, like and subscribe. Tick that notification bell, of course, if you are brand new to the channel. And it's Devin who holds the lead. And now, I think we are now at the part of the race time, and where I think things are going to get just a little bit boring, and everyone's just going to save up on that ERS until the pit stops.
Well, you never know when it's gonna be boring. You got Devin, who's still blinking. He's on less than 10% of ERS, which does make him very vulnerable on a straight line. And Twist, once he gets really put under pressure by Ryan, he might have to make the move again for the lead. It sounds weird having to make a move for the lead, but you don't really want to be leading, because if you're behind another car, it is so much easier to gain up that ERS percentage. And Devin's just currently really struggling with that in clean air to gain even any ERS. You can, of course, lift and coast a little bit more, but it doesn't just make him very vulnerable on the straight. I think Devin needed to pull that move off in the first place, which was just a little bit too far. If he would have gone past him immediately, I think he might have been able to drive away from the DRS train, because his pace in the middle sector just seems a lot better than Twist. Of course, he doesn't have any dirty air, which is holding him back, but I still think he would have really easily been able to do so. I think Ryan, if he wants to make any moves, he should start to pressure Twist a little bit in towards the back of Devin. Force him to make a move, and then Devin, whilst he's on less than 10% of ERS, make a move on him yourself as well. And Will Murdoch, who seems to be maybe the quickest of the 4, make that mistake. I was saying, put him under pressure, but without any pressure, Twist makes a mistake himself, and he drops from P2, maybe all the way down to P5, because Johan is now looking at the back of him, sticking his front wing, no, sticking his whole car up the inside. He slightly missed the corner, but Twist fully misses the corner and goes around the outside off track to keep a position. Maybe the stewards will be looking in But that was a really good send by Johan. Not expected by Twist, but Twist going from P2 all the way down to P4. And if Devin had that little bit of DRS to work with, he would have easily been able to get out of the DRS train.
Yeah, and honestly, that was a similar move to what we saw in real life between Verstappen and Hamilton. Very, very similar in terms of the car diving it to the inside line. Oh, Johan, in the end, Twist had to take a more in action by going off track and then rejoining, albeit in a very fair manner. He was ahead of him when he joined, but now Johan is going to get absolutely eaten up by Renz, gets to the inside line, even before down the straight towards turn number 1. Renz is through. Johan now the one being cost. He's 16% in terms of ERS. If you are wondering what ERS means as well, and the big old fancy anagrams that we're using on this stream, ERS of course is the Energy Recovery Management System, which is basically as simple as I can give. When you brake into a corner like Johan is doing now, he saves up that ERS, that little percentage that you see on the bottom left, and when you're going up a hill, or when you're going down a straight, for example, you use that ERS up to try and gain a bit of extra speed. It's something like 20 mile an hour extra the ERS can give, of course, compared to the DRS, which is, of course, giving you that extra speed as well. Don't think I've explained that totally well, but still, Devin leads the way. Ryan in second, Will Murdoch there in third, doing a fantastic job. We are now a quarter of the way through here in Brazil. Hope you are enjoying the stream. As I mentioned, Jess is probably preparing now for F1, that title finale between, of course, Max and Tom, which is, I think, 12 points separating coming into tonight. Tom did a very, very good race, I've got to say, in Saudi Arabia last week, I should say. I could say last night, goodness me. Tying on the back of Johan, looking quite close, was not looking close enough in that papaya-coloured McLaren. He's still there in 7th, and everyone once again just calming themselves down. But Twist's mistake, pretty much you put the mockers on him, I think, there, Simon, because he's there in 4th now. You were saying he had to be put under pressure. He put himself under pressure, and I'm just going to take full blame on behalf of my co-commentator right here.
I mean, you gotta, at the end of the day, you gotta live with the commentators, because if you're doing well, commentators will look at you, will talk about you. And if you just keep making mistakes, then it's all on you. I mean, we're not the one to blame for it. He's performing well. We have to mention it, and then he makes a mistake. I don't think we're at fault for that. But if we're gonna look at the race now again, I think there's one favorite currently, if I'm looking at it, and it's Will Murdoch for the win, because his electronics is just looking way better than Devin, than Ryan. He's just got double the amount of ERS, and he's actually going for it right now. Every time I am going for it, I'm saying this person has more ERS. They are going for it, and Ryan forced to defend now. That's what I'm saying. When you attack, you force the other person to defend, and Ryan is now flashing, and his red light popped up really quickly. And I think Will Murdoch saw that, knows how much ERS Ryan is on, and he just knows what he has to do next lap. Put him under the same pressure again, he will fully flash, and then maybe on that lap already, or the lap after, he should be able to make an overtake. It's not as easy anymore as it used to be with those more nimble cars. You just go quickly towards the back end of another car, you just send it up the inside, and you absolutely vanish away from them. Now these cars have a lot more downforce on them. Dirty air is more of an important thing, and you need DRS to actually make a move. That's what I would say, those older nimble cars. I think everyone would love to return to those. And as much as we would want to, I think the safety reasons will unfortunately make that not happen. But I wonder now if Will Murdoch is going to be burning a little bit of ERS again, just to put Ryan and Devin under some pressure again. And if he keeps doing that, I think he will end up in a very good situation.
Yeah, I was going to say earlier on about Will, actually, that physically down the straight, look at the gap that he's actually bringing in. This is in DRS, but this is now him on the back of Ryan, catching all the way down in towards turn 1 under his own accord. And speaking of catching in towards turn 1 time, he's going to have to look around the outside on Johan, and Johan has to defend through the corner at turn number 1, now to the right hander at turn number 2 at the centre rest, and now through the left-hander of turn number 3. He is looking on the back. Lars looking on the back as well. So that split is now beginning to happen. There is a yellow flag through turn number 2, and that is Javi. That has started gone for a bit of a misspin, and that is him down in 10th position, 5 seconds off now the pace compared to Zozo. Unfortunate for him, just a spin, no fumbling damage on the car, so he will not be coming into the pit lane, I don't think. Tyne, of course, was leading the Division 3, the Tier 3 Championship, if I'm not mistaken, F3, a little bit early on before you got promoted, of course, to F2. Thank you, Kryptonite, for bringing him along to F2 and stealing from our very much Irish friend of Evan Dalton. Evan is not going to be mad, I'm absolutely sure about that, but Tyne doing a solid job. He's there in 7th. He could be potentially, I think, a growth figure within F1 23 next season, where he will hope to
Rens will be going for
absolutely brilliant. And Will Murdoch, I think, is definitely going to go for it now on the back of Ryan. But again, he turns off his EOS, realises that he's blinking ahead, doesn't want to go for the move, and in the end, you were saying that Rens was going to go for the move, and in the end, nothing has happened.
Yeah, it was a mistake from Twist, and Rens got within 2 tenths, but he had a really poor final corner, which just forced him. Oh, that's very poor, Xavi. Which forced him to not be able to make an overtaking opportunity there. But Twist is just constantly flashing below 10% of ERS, and I think Rens is smart enough to realize they should be easily able to go for a move and actually take their position home. I feel bad for Kryptonite and Knoof. They are continuing, and Knoof has damage. He's made a pit stop. He's on another set of compound of tires. He's continuing. Xavi, he just spins once. He's only 5 seconds off. Bang, immediately retires, gives up. Like, there's nothing you can do anymore. Like, I just find that really, really sad to see. And to me, it ruins a lot of the racing aspect. You can't do the same thing IRL, and I think, mate, I'm a huge... I really like the idea of giving a penalty point for it, for retiring in the pit lane before, let's just say, at least an 80% mark of the race.
Here's Will Murdoch on the back of Ryan, and he actually makes contact with him just before turn number 1. Will goes to the inside line, and now is the time to go for the move, and now is the time not to pull off the move either from Will's perspective. Gets the better run though, coming out of turn number 3. He's still on the back of Ryan. He's look at the speed difference compared to him and Ryan, but in the end I think he's just going to have to save and hold that battery for now, and in the end Will Murdoch will hang on to 3rd and remain as they are between the 2 Mercedes guys out on track. Luisi fan there in the chat as well saying, evening guys, hope, nice to see another race. It is nice to see another race. It's nice to have me back on commentary in F2 as well. Devon leads the way, Ryan in 2nd, Will Murdoch there in 3rd, but Will was, I think, mentioning looking to move up the hill and towards turn number 6, didn't, and Will Murdoch now has to try and save up that ERS once again, because ERS and in terms of time management is crucial around a track like this.
Definitely, but I do think Will Murdoch could have handled this situation a lot better. He should have continued pushing when he did it last time, compared to Ryan. He is going for it again now. ERS is on. Ryan is already flashing. You say no chance, but if he's flashing, you gain so much, James. He's going to completely close down the gap. Ryan, what is he doing? He's outside, maybe forcing an overtake on Devon, because that's the only thing he can do. Whilst he has to defend, he also has another car ahead of him, which he's kind of pushing into, but Devon just has a lot more ERS and he's easily able to defend it. The pressure from Will Murdoch was done not in the best way possible, and I think both Mercedes could have worked together a lot better in this situation, but another bad exit there from Devon, and just no way to gain from it by Ryan, because he just has less ERS. I think Ryan needs to make an undercut so he can save a bit of ERS on his outlap, but still gain on the fresher tires. And then that's the only way he can compensate that ERS difference, because he can undercut now, absolutely burn his ERS and just get Ian alive by all the other cars a few laps later, and it's still a DRS strain. If you make a big mistake now, you won't just lose one position, you will probably you can all the way drop back towards like a P9, and if you really have a big spin, you could end up just right ahead of Kryptonite, which is also not a place you want to be at.
Here comes Ryan on the back of Devon in towards turn 1, and do you know what? Devon, I don't think is going to be entertained by this, as now Ryan goes the outside line in towards turn number 1. Has to be really forced into the move, I think, by Devon. Wants to try and make something happen, does the Dutchman ahead. Nothing happening in behind, apart from Lars and Tyne side by side, and actually gets the job done. I think Tyne may have had a little bit of contact with him. Will Murdoch is now side by side once again down the Retro Poster and towards the seat of the Largo at turn number 4. Tries to get the job done to the inside line. Bit of contact between the Mercedes. The Alfa Romeo, I should say, escapes up the road. But now we're side by side between both Mercedes. Don't kill each other in towards Ferragura, for goodness sake. Now coming through Ferragura at turn number 7. Doesn't get the job done, and Ryan and Will Murdoch once again are 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah, I really thought Will Murdoch was going to absolutely send it up the inside and the middle sector. And that's maybe what you have to do in these DRS range. You have to just make a surprise. And if you're really that close up there and have a lot better exit and a better line, you should have gone for it. And I think Will Murdoch, having the GT7 experience, where he will be going to the Olympic Games with, I just can't stop mentioning it. He knows how to overtake in, I guess, cars that do not have DRS and that are more equal to each other with balance of performance as
He's
a
in.
Group 3 car, but he actually goes into the pit lane, so he sees that he can't make the overtake on track, and he picks up a speeding penalty. It wasn't even close, James. I'll be honest, he sped by absolutely a lot, and the third undercut just goes absolutely out of the window. There's no need for it anymore, and he will be dropping back a lot. Probably going to be ending up in P9 because of that DRS train. 5 seconds is the whole train.
Yeah, and that DRS train as well. Remember, they've all got DRS within that DRS train as well, so they are actually going to be gaining the time as opposed to anything. I'm just going to rewind it back and watch how Will sped into the pit lane just to confirm how much speed he was doing. About 60 mile an hour he was carrying actually coming through there. Not great at all from Will Murdoch's perspective. Devon, though, leading the way for now. Ryan there in second, Twist there in third. Just a little bit of lag, actually, there, I think, within the lobby. Either that or on my OBS. Hopefully everything is okay. But Devon there in first position. I wonder if he is going to try and get that reaction on with Will Murdoch, because he now knows he's, what, 18, 19 seconds ahead of him out on track. Whether or not he sacrifices himself, goes back into the DRS range, or sacrifices himself and go in the pits, which he is doing. So Devon is in the pits, following in as well as Ryan. Twist is in, Johan is in. That is how you break into the pit stop here at the Brazilian circle of the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache. But Devon, Ryan, Twist and Johan all into the pit lane. Zozo in the meantime is on the back of Tyne as well, coming out the left-hander of turn number 3. And look at the speed that he's going to get down the straight. 80% of ERS to burn, and this is burning up to good effect. Zozo now to the inside on the QRT man, waltzes by on time. The Juventus Racing man down in fourth, Zozo there in third. A very, very easy move from Zozo, and Tyne didn't really want to fight that. Will's in the lead though.
Will Murdoch, and that's what I said, James. The undercut is very strong around here. It's just one lap, and although they can have DRS, it's one lap, and Will Murdoch is ahead. He does have a lot lower DRS, I was going to say, but only 20% of DRS for both Devon, Ryan, Twist, pretty much for everyone. Knuf, he is outside of the train. I would have loved to see Knuf actually make his way inside of the train at this stage of the race, but unfortunately he will not be able to do so. It also surprised me that they were all coming in, but the rest of the grid should now be coming in. Rens is in. Lars is staying out. He wants P2, so he has to make an interesting strategy. I do absolutely understand that strategy call. And Zorzo is liking the pace that Lars is putting up. So he has decided to stick with him, follow, and just see what ends up happening. And they both still have 50% of ERS, so they might be key factors later on the race. But on fresher tyres, and with a lot more ERS, let's see what they can do. Whilst Will Murdoch, meanwhile, goes for the fastest lap. He is absolutely flying, but everyone can see and everyone knows. I assume everyone here has an... They should know Will Murdoch does have that 5-second penalty. It doesn't really matter, and Devon, in theory, you can sit behind Will Murdoch the whole race and still win it, because he's not going to be able to remove that penalty. And Devon will have DRS, he will be having someone who can easily gain ERS upon. I think this situation is very positive for Devon.
I think, honestly, if I was in Devon's shoes, I'd actually let Ryan go and just see if I can try and stick with him. If not, then swap the positions back round and then get Devon back onto the back of Will Murdoch, because it's obvious Will Murdoch and Ryan are not in the same party. They're not going to be talking to each other, therefore they're not going to work together. So it is literally all for one and one for all, like the Three Musketeers said back in the day. Lars and Zozo are into the pit lane, however, and Zozo nearly about speeds into the pit lane. Gets a little bit of time gained, I think. They're going to come out possibly behind Rens and Johan in this battle. Rens, by the way, came out ahead of Johan in the end, so that is him through ahead into, what is that, the net P6, I think. Twist is on the back of Ryan in towards turn 1, not getting quite close enough, but very, very low on ERS is Twist, about 8% in towards turn number 1. Now to the right hand of turn 2, and then to the left hand of turn number 3 once again. Everyone just filtering through very nicely indeed, and yeah, Lars and Zozo are actually outside of DRS range. That is how powerful the undercut is around here. Lars out of the pit lane, miles behind, and because the tyres are going to be warming up over this lap, Lars could be 3 seconds behind by the end of this lap.
Yeah, Brent is outside of the DRS range as well, together with Johan. So they would have to work together with each other, both Alpines. just having to make their way back in the DRS train, but Lorenz has already made his way into that train. Will Murdoch was on the 8/10 gap compared to Devin, but on the straight he just gained it all back. Just using like 10% of ERS and you're all good to go again. You save ERS really easily and Will Murdoch will be struggling, but that penalty just will be not helping him. I wonder what role Kryptonite will be having in this DRS train. He is still out there. He is on hards, and I don't think Kryptonite will have any intention in pitting because he knows if he makes a pit stop right now, he will be dead last.
Devin to the inside line at turn number 1, and Will Murdoch has let him go. So Devin is through into the net lead, and I was about to say, Krypton realised Will Murdoch would have been behind him out on track. That has now gone out the window, and I think because of that, Will Murdoch has run scared of the master of Kryptonite in the lead of the race. Devin and Will Murdoch there in second and third, and Will has just decided, you know what, I'll just stay behind Devin. I'm not going to get caught up with this fool out in front of me. He has already cost me enough this season. Don't want to be cost again, especially because he is the head steward here in PSGL as well, who was racing, so they don't want to be behind him out on track. But Krypton, as you say, I think is going to make it very interesting. I'm assuming, given how deep he's going into the race, he might actually go for a set of softs rather than for a set of medium compounder tyres. He's going to be absolutely miles behind, even behind Nuth, in fact, coming out of the pit lane when he does. So Krypton's going to be, what, 10 seconds down, I think, on the back of Nuth. Is he coming in the pit lane this lap around? No, is the answer. He stays out there, and it's going to make the lead battle very interesting indeed.
I mean, he won't be ahead of behind Knut because Knut still has to pit again. He's already done 19 laps on that medium set of tires, and I think after this one he will be coming in shortly, or will be nearing a puncture range. I think Kryptonite, he should just be sticking his car out on track and hope for a safety car, hope for the best, hope for chaos, because even if he pits, he's not going to be achieving anything from it. So yeah, he should just be staying out. And that's also probably why Devin went out ahead, because he knows the quicker I can get ahead of Kryptonite and then absolutely push like crazy, there's an opportunity I can drive the cars behind me outside of the second range, which means that they will not be having any DRS, and which would pretty much guarantee him the victory and also P2 in the championship. Because Lars, it surprised me that he pitted very early, or I mean fairly early, because he was going for a later strategy, better tires, and you at the end of the day you only have at best a three lap advantage compared to Will Murdoch, who's going to be dropping back anyway. So you'll only be having a 2-lap advantage, and you will be having absolutely no battery. Maybe I would have even stuck out for 2 more laps, waited until everyone, of course you would lose out on the DRS train, but later on you would be able to profit from it again, because their tires would be in a lot worse shape than your tires. But that's the strategy that Talent Factory has gone with, and they're obviously a lot smarter than me, because I'm a commentator and they actually play this game a lot more than I do. But the main thing now, the DRS train has caught up to Kryptonite.
I'll correct you there, they're smarter than both of us out on track, because we are here, as I say, in the very comfortable commentary box. Kryptonite leads the way. Hop on board the Krypton train, one might say now, as Devin is right on the back of him, 7 tenths away on the back of Krypton. He can go to the end of the race because he hasn't put in already. He can't go to the end of the race. However, he's going to make this a very, very interesting battle, become even more interesting between Devin, Will Murdoch and Ryan in behind. And for now, Krypton, unless he now escapes into the pit lane, which he is not going to do, all intents and purposes, he is now to ruin somebody's day. I'm not sure whose day it might be ruining, but Kryptonite will lead the way. And given how he wants to try and spice up the championship, I wonder if he's been put in and paid potentially by the sister team of Lars. Maybe a little bit of money has been bribed his way to try and give, as he is going to try and now get the move done. Devin on the back of Krypton, and in the end Krypton does not like that. Devin is through and he's into the lead of the race, so forget what I was talking about bribery.
Yeah, I mean, bribery nowadays is a sensitive topic.
Murdoch's got
oh, there's contact!
Will Murdoch, what on earth are you doing? Into the back of Krypton, just so late on the bridge. Johan has crashed! Johan has crashed. Is that a safety car? It is! Oh my word! How on earth has the fortunes changed here in PSGL F2? Will Murdoch has gone into the back of Krypton. He's now ahead of him out on track. so late on the brakes. There was literally minimal contact. I've got to argue from Will's point of view. Minimal contact to set him off. In the end, Johan has made his own mistake coming out of turn number 7 on the outside curb. In the wall he goes. Safety car deployed.
Soft
And
change.
the fortunes change now, as it could be set us off compound tyres. Everyone on the set of mediums will just stay out there. It makes sense to. However,
No
Time
time.
BB, who has done a penalty, is in the pits. And I'm assuming if Will Murdoch and Krypton have both got damage, they are into the pit lane as well. Krypton certainly in terms of strategy. But that one's going to be interesting in the Discord server after this.
Of course, it is those two that make contact with each other. Will Murdoch and Kryptonite. It couldn't have been anyone else. It's like it's a book that's just happening right in front of our eyes. Time pitted to mediums again. Same goes for Kryptonite. Will Murdoch actually going for a set of softs, which is way more explainable, to be fair. You have the safety car laps and then only 9 laps of racing. I think you can make these softs work, and you want to make some overtakes happen. There's one person, James, that I want to see win this race now. It is Knut. He spun round with damage on lap 1. He decided, I don't care what anyone else does. He sees Xavier retiring after he spins and only loses 5 seconds. He's like, I'm going to continue. I'm going to show everyone why you continue. And with the safety car now, I just want to see a good result from Knut and make it worth it. Because that is why you do not retire. You never know what happens in racing.
And there is the man missing from this P2 battle who's got something called F1 Esports Challenges to bear in mind in the chat. That is, of course, TF Blackbox, who's going to finish probably 4th in the championship after tonight. And he says Lars for the win. Of course he'd be supporting a Talent Factory, man. Of course he would be. There in 5th position. He has now got back into this race, though, however. He is going to be on the back of Renz and Twist. Whether or not he's quick enough compared to those guys remains to be seen. But the safety car is now out on track. Will Murdoch is back in the pit lane. So he's getting rid of the set of soft compound tyres. Set of mediums will go on. Nuth continues on. And Will Murdoch now is going for the wooden spoon at the back of the field. And maybe he can just stick to practicing for Olympics rather than being last in a PSGL F2 race, final race of the season. And he's on old mediums as well. It's even worse.
It wouldn't surprise me if Will Murdoch just doesn't close up towards the DRS train and goes towards a new set of softs. Because then you would be able to make it. Surely wouldn't just now drive on those older set of medium compounded tires. I don't know why he decided to go for mediums, because it clearly says use mediums. And if you think of it, it wouldn't have been the set that he used in qualifying, because he probably picked softer. He did 4 rounds on the softs in qualifying. It would have been his race medium tire, which he genuinely just pitted off of. So I guess he's now in sync with the leaders on how all his tires are. But I don't think Will Murdoch would like to catch up to the DRS train. He's not going extremely quick, so we see what happens there. If he catches up, safety car will be in his lap. If he doesn't, we will be doing another lap.
Yeah, I'm assuming, given where he is, coming through turn number 9, if he puts the brakes on all of a sudden, I think we are going to be getting the safety car out for at least 1 more lap. He's coming through the Sector 2 split, coming through Jun South, and yeah,
that's going to be very late.
No, we're definitely getting the safety car for another lap, as Ryan backs off on the back of Devon, expecting, I think, another safety car to come out. But in the end, another lap for the safety car, as I say.
Will stays out. Huh?
What?
I am lost now. Why did he not just gain up to the safety car on the foot? Okay, well. Oh well, I guess we have to do 1 more lap of commentary. We get another lap of rest, James. We get to save our voices a bit for the remaining 8 laps or 9 laps. I can't even count anymore.
10 laps.
We get to save our voices.
Yeah, 10 laps.
Yeah, but this is a safety car lap, so 9 laps after the safety car is done.
Yeah. And Will Murdoch,
but yeah, we get to save our voices. We get to mentally prepare for the chaos that's going to ensue. But the main fight that we should be looking out for is between Devin and Lars, because they are still fighting for P2 in this title. But Devin seems to have it all under control. He's also leading. I think he's got more points than Lars. So Lars needs to outscore Devin by quite a bit of points. So he just...
10 points.
I mean, I wouldn't wish for anyone to spin. But if Devin spun, it would at least make the P2 fight a lot more entertaining.
It would. It is 10 points the difference between... 9 points between Devon and Lars. He needs a 10-point swing from somewhere and maybe that is in case of a DNF potentially from Devon. Hopefully he doesn't. He's controlled this race throughout. He's done fantastic, and the safety car is now coming in the pit lane, which means Devon is now the virtual Burt Malander. Burt Malander, of course, being the virtual safety car driver, and now Devon is now the inherited virtual safety car driver. He can dictate the pace to however he wants to. I'm assuming, because it's a very slow initial getaway, I think he's going to go on the exit of speed of the boxes at 10:14, which is this corner here. Safety car is already back in the pit lane, so that means Devon will go around about where the DRS detection point is. Where's the DRS detection point? There. Devon will go just after. There you go. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Devon gets on, and now Lars is right on the back of the bench. She can't overtake, of course, until the safety car line, which is the start-finish line, and now Lars is going to have to force us to the inside line, in towards turn 1. Rensis backs out very early on the brakes, and in the end, Lars is through, and he's into 4th, and that was a mistake, I think, by Lars as well. Renz also makes a mistake, and in the end, the 3 wide in the background, Zozo, Tyne, and Kryptonite are side by side, running down the Retroposter, in towards the Cedar del Lago, but in the end, Zozo the one that comes out on top. Kryptonite trying to hang up that the Red Bull on the inside line. Tyne dropping down the field, nearly forced out wide as well by Kryptonite on the exit, but Kryptonite through and he's into 7, waltzing his way through the field. Tyne there and 8 is a real loser. Nuth now diving into the inside line and toward Ferradura. A turn of 8, tries to get the job done, now to the outside line, but he can't. Will Murdoch tries to stick the nose in there as well, can't. Devon leads, Ryan second, Twist in third. Not many changes. Renz and Lars having a real Tokyo drifting moment though through the first sector.
Devon is burning, James. He wants to get rid of that DRS strain as soon as possible. He's only on 40% of ERS, whilst Ryan pretty much still has a full battery ready to absolutely burn on this big long straight. And he will not be hoping for Devon to escape the DRS strain. The gap is 0.8 of a second, but Devon is out of ERS, and I think Ryan should be slot back in and get back in the DRS strain. Zonzo's looking maybe to move on Lars. He got really close towards them, and Ren's actually out of the DRS. Currently, the pace is very high. It's set by Devon, then Ryan, Twist, Renz, Lars, Zonzo, Kryptonite, Tyne, Knoof, and Will Murdoch rounds up what we currently have. Tyne, the only person with a penalty. Will Murdoch, fortunately, able to serve his speeding in a pit lane penalty. So he has all the opportunities to now fight for it again, although he does still have all the sets of tires. Kryptonite is the first person on a fresh set of tires, and I wonder if he's actually going to make some moves, but he is currently under a lot of pressure still from Tyne, unable to really do anything, and it seems like all the overtakes have to come in turn 1, James.
Yeah, Tyne on the back of Krypton is looking very, very good. Both on that fresh set of mediums, Tyne is looking quicker than Krypton. And if I was in Krypton's shoes right now, I'd actually let Tyne go and just try and get onto the back of Zozo. They're on fresher tyres. You may as well use up the quicker driver in that little bit of a train. That is Tyne right now on that set of medium compounder tyres coming out through the left-hander of Sabita Dos Boxers running down the straight. Devon, Ryan, Twist the top 3. Renz, Lars, Zozo, Kryptonite, Tyne, Nuth and Will Murdoch are the top 10. That follows Fabi there in the chat saying Nuth with the true fighting spirit. Now let's get them. And Nuth is making positions. He's made 1 at least on Will Murdoch. Will Murdoch in the end having to force to be set onto that set of medium compounder tyres, the race trim set of medium compounder tyres that he had earlier on. As Nuth there in 9th, doing a good job on the back of Time, but nobody's really going to gain, and I fear they went on a set of medium compounder tyres for absolutely nothing, because nobody is losing time ahead of them, bar maybe Lars, who is actually now splitting the train. And that just comes to show what a fall from grace Lars has actually had from winning earlier on in the season. Now he's what, P5, and now nearly a second off the back of Renz. This is not the Lars that we saw earlier on in the season.
I mean, I wouldn't be the one to call for that. I've not seen all of Lars's races, but I think what it does show, and what we can say from it is that
Nuth has sent Time round. Sorry to cut you off. Nuth has sent Time round coming through. I think there was desync, maybe a bit of hitbox there between them both. Time spun round. He is going to be very frustrated. Nuth has got no damage. Indicates to me that was hitbox more than anything. Nuth there in 9th, Time there in 10th, and Time is going to be one very angry Dutchman right now.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of angry Dutchmen out there, but Tyne is actually continuing, not retiring in the pit lane. Sorry, that's how you do it. But yeah, we are still seeing the battle for the lead that has to unfold. Twist has 30% of ERS, and both guys ahead of him are flashing, whilst Knoof actually picks up another penalty. I mean, not another one, but he might get one for the incident. He picks up a penalty, which pretty much ruins him to make any more gains for the rest of the race. He can try to get Will Murdoch outside of 3 seconds because he does not have DRS to Kryptonite up ahead. But I, quite frankly, do not see that happening anytime soon. What I do see is that Lars does have 60% of ERS that he can work with and maybe use later on, which is not a lot longer left in the race, but maybe 2 or 3 laps time, he will be able to use that ERS compared to everyone else who's been really burning it. So he might be able to gain 1 or 2 positions still from it, but it will not be enough for P2 in the standings. Lars, who had a really good start of the season, like you said, has just been the victim, I guess, of other drivers growing, maybe putting in more practice hours and really just performing above his level. But Lars has definitely showed himself that he is worthy of an spot for next season. A bit of a mistake there from Twist going a tiny bit wide, but Red's unable to profit from it. So the running order stays the exact same, and we only got 4 more laps to go.
It does, and I'm just working out the maths as well. Devon, if he spins and drops the back end of the field behind Tyne, Lars needs P2. P2 to pick up, because if he picks up P3, he'll be level on points. That's why I'm saying he needs P2 to gain those 2 extra points. In the end, it's looking very much impossible. Devon has controlled the race, and Twist makes a huge mistake there. Coming out of Jun Sao again, put on the back foot, and Ren, who's been a real revelation in the second half of the season, the NLD man now, coming on the back of QRT Twist, and Twist now is going to try and have to twist and shake that he's never shaked before in that AlphaTauri to the inside line, in towards turn 1, but Ren's absolutely cascades to the inside line, and that is just silly. Tut, tut, tut for Michael, commentator. Ren's there down in 9th position. So unfortunate, just a little bit too late on the brakes. Really cost you around this track. And Ren's now down in 9th position. And unfortunately, that was all of his wrongdoing.
Well, that's the issue if you only stick half your car up the inside.
And Luther's got through on Will Murdoch. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, Will Murdoch on being on all the tires, but that's the whole issue on sticking only half of your car up the inside. You need to fully commit to an overtake, especially if you're going for it that late. You decide to still stick it up the inside. I would have way more preferred the outside line there, carrying through more potential, more momentum, and then actually getting him up in turn 2. If you have your car ahead of it there, you can just easily, way more easily would have done it there. There's no mistaking what Twist did. Of course, he could have left him more room, but it is the issue, the error of Rens for missing his apex and understeering into the side pod of Twist. I hope Twist doesn't have any side pod damage from it. I really doubt it, because I don't think there's any simulation damage on. But if we're gonna look at the fronts, they're fairly equal on ERS. Ryan, it's gonna be a battle between him and Devon. I really doubt that Twist, after the incident, is able to gain back up, save more ERS, and then still go for it. I think the battle is going to be between Devon and Ryan, unless actually Lars is able to get past Twist on this lap and then close the gap.
Yeah, and Lars at the minute, as I say, he's in 4th position. It's literally impossible really now for him to wrap up the P2 finish out on track. He needs P2 out on track, and Devon to finish 9th, 10th, I think it is. I think 10th he needs to finish for him to be 2 points ahead of him going into, of course, next season, which is going to be, of course, a clean slate for F1 23. Can't announce any calendar details just yet. I know for a fine fact they're going to be there's going to be sign-ups for sure in the coming probably next 2 months. I would say.
Here goes Lars.
Lars on the back of Twist. Let's watch him in towards turn 1 of the AlphaTauri. The other AlphaTauri of Twist are going to try and defend the inside line. He's going to try
Not
and
the same situation.
Pit wall. Lars has gone for the move. He's nearly too late on the brakes. In fact, nearly collects the back there of Ryan. And in the end, they're side by side coming out of turn number 2 and 3. Could have been dealt with a lot better. But now look at Zozo. Zozo all of a sudden has got to run on both of them to the inside line. Going to try and thread the Island Needle. Now on this contact. And that is just silly. Really silly. There's going to be no safety car at the end of this race either. Zozo in the wall, out of the race, parking his car on the inside of turn number 4. Really disappointing. He tried to go for a gap that was absolutely impossible to go for. Twist now down out of the race as well. He may as well try and continue on just to pick up P8, because time's going to be absolutely nowhere near him towards the end of the race. But again, contact, that could have been avoided. Zozo probably realising, oh my god, I shouldn't have done that. And yeah, he shouldn't have.
Yeah, but that's not important for now. It's going to be the fight for the Ryan on 60% of your 11 or 4. That is going to be the fight. Will burns his ERS when Ryan decides to go for it a lot more, burning most of his ERS and causing him to be equal on ERS coming into the final lap. Both on exactly 30%. Ryan will be, yeah, it is a little bit where you can't go. That would just mostly be silly. He does line up a move here, but Devon's going to burn absolutely everything.
Tries to go around the outside, does Ryan on the back, coming on the final lap of the race, tries to look to the outside line, but he still can't get the job done. Devon there now leads the way, and Ryan's going to try and go for the inside line towards turn number 6, tries to get the move now around the outside. Oh my word, if he tries this off, this will be brilliant, but Devon has to try and fight. Ryan has to be really, really now confident to try and get that move done. He can't, because Devon is now, I think, so far ahead. I think he is probably going to wrap this up. It's been a very chaotic final lap of the race. Lars coming back into this as well. As my voice is going, Devon leads the way from Ryan in second, and in the end, Ryan tried that move around the outside. It is done. Ryan is not going to win unless he gets a pure drag, and he's got a jet-propelled car in that Mercedes. But in the end, Devon towards the line. He has absolutely took this race win apart. In the end, has dominated from the front, and Devon takes the race win in Brazil from Ryan there in second. Another lap, it could have been different. Who knows? Lars there in third. Picks up the podium, not enough, but he does secure P3 in the championship. That is confirmed with Blackbox there dropping, I think, in fourth. Kryptonite, by the way, getting the spoils over Will Murdoch. That instant, I am sure, will be investigated still by the stewards, but Krypton finish ahead of Will Murdoch. I don't think that will get investigated now. Out on track as the positions have sorted themselves out. Nuke there in 6th, Ren's there in 7th, and then we wait for Tyne and Twist. We're both on fastest lap attempts at this stage. Tyne doesn't. Twist certainly doesn't, and he's actually crashed before the start-finish line, so he doesn't actually get classified within the results. About 20 yards. I mean,
he will get classified because he completed more than like 90-something percent of the race. So that's not an issue. But I think Ryan, if I'm being completely honest, I think he didn't play that situation all that well. He burned off his ERS gain. He burned it off mostly on the straight when he wasn't even trying to go for an overtake. He got lucky that Devon made a mistake and at the end got the opportunity. But if I was him, I would have burned a little bit on the main straight there and would have pushed a lot more in the middle sector to make sure I had the ERS gain on the final straight, on the final lap, and then go for it. So also saying in the chat that he can't believe it. But at the end of the day, it was fully his own mistake. He did get boxed in there. He tried to go for a gap that didn't exist. He tried to recreate one of the greatest Brazilian drivers' quotes. Senna, if you go for a gap if you no longer go for a gap that exists, you're no longer a racing driver. But that gap didn't exist, and he still went for it. So I don't know if he can't call him a racing driver anymore now, or what happens.
Yeah, things do happen in racing. That's just part and parcel of motorsport at the end of the day. But what also happens is Devon taking the race win here in Brazil from Ryan there in second, Lars there in third. Kryptonite got driver of the day, by the way, in fourth after his antics early on. Will Murdoch there in fifth. Nuke there in 6th, Ren's there in 7th. Tyne, by the way, picked up the fastest lap point, so he gets classified, of course, in P8 with that fastest lap point. Twist there in 9th, and then Zolza ran off the top 10. Again, that contact could have easily been avoided. He tried to go for a gap. It was like part of the Red Sea Moses style. Try to go for a gap, never going to be there, and Zolza there in 10th. I think will still get classified, however, within the results. Nuth saying in the chat as well, 76% he was on in terms of his tyre wear. He was just waiting on the chaos to happen. Well, chaos certainly well and truly happened, and in the end he only gained, I think, 2 positions out of it. Nuth as well also saying, sorry to Tyne, didn't even touch you, already spun before the contact even happened because of a small desync. Yeah, that's what came through on our end as well. Certainly a bit of a small desync ahead. Will Murdoch saying, restart everyone, Kryptonite needs a better starting position, and then Krypton's just responded back saying, still ahead of you despite you having an attempt on my life. That ends off F2, I think. That is brilliant. That is brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few antics there between the Mercedes. They're not happy with each other of what happened in the race. But I think there won't be a lot of major steward inquiries, unlike F1 last weekend. And yeah, F1 currently in qualifying, and I think that's what most eyes will be turning upon on. I don't know if you are wanting to do some interviews.
Yeah,
I've already asked. If the drivers are up for it.
Yeah, I've already asked in the Discord. Lars saying he's not available, sadly. Totally understandable. Devon and Ryan have not got back to me. They're very busy, I think, chatting to each other there in the Discord. Will Murdoch asking in the chat, was it on purpose? No. Did I do it? Yes. Kryptonite responding back saying it was on purpose. Okay, so that is going to go down to the wire, I think, between them two. But it is, as I said in commentary, I think it was a bit scripted, honestly, between them both. Given how they've been with each other the last couple of races, they've been fine. But I think they had contact a little bit earlier on in the season, which was unfortunate, I think. And in the end, both of them, I know, do love each other very, very much. They are very respectful towards each other here in PSF2. Kryptonite even admitting he was laughing as well when that incident happened. But that, I believe, unless I get a reply back from Ryan and from Devon, I believe that will be it for now for PSGL F2. I'm gonna. Oh, I was going to say I'll quickly go on and redirect you to F1, but I have not managed to do that, which means, unfortunately for you, the terrifying sight of me once again is now going to take to your screens, and that, of course, has been PSGL F2 this season. Big thank you to Jessica Ball, who is commentating right now for F1. A big thank you, of course, to everyone behind the scenes. I don't think they get enough credit, honestly, for running a league of this scale in this stature for PSGL. It's been a fantastic season, and Timon having you alongside me for what 3 or 4 races this season has been fantastic as well. And all we've got to thank really is the gods in behind the scenes in PSGL who gave us this opportunity to commentate, and I've really, really enjoyed it. I think it's my 4th season doing PSGL F2 comms, or certainly 3rd season doing PSGL F2 comms. It gets better every single time. The new game cycle, of course, is going to come in very nicely indeed. And hopefully, we're going to see some really good racing on that new game cycle as well. And F1 23, which, if you want the dates for, it is 13th of June. Early access for 3 days early access, of course, and you get all of the F1 Life stuff and whatever else that comes with that pack. And then the 16th, of course, is Standard Edition. That is going to be coming out. The first deep dive also included red flags in multiplayer. So if that does not whet your appetite even further, Timon might just try and sell the game.
I mean, I don't know any insights. I haven't had the beta yet. I know that a lot of people have had it, and they have said that at least the cars are more drivable, and that it should be a way more pleasant experience than this game. I hope that we see a lot of old names actually return back to the grid, because there are a lot of people that have actually lost motivation on this game a lot earlier compared to other games. At the end of the games, of course, you see people lacking motivation, but if a lot of people will come back, I think for next season we'll have an absolutely brilliant, at least first PSGL season on the new game. That's always something I look out for, and hopefully there again, maybe as a reserve commentator, maybe full time. I do have the time for it to go full time. I'm planning on buying the game myself as well, and I'll definitely be taking a look at it to become maybe somewhat decent again at driving. But yeah, I just gave up on this game, as many others. But yeah, I definitely want to see next game improve. So definitely encourage everyone to buy it and to hopefully have as good as a PSGL season as this one was. Because although the standards or the attendance may have been low, we've always had a good race, at least when I commentated. So I'm happy to see what the next season will unfold.
Yeah, next season should be fantastic, of course. That is on the new game cycle, so on F1 23. And if you dare ask in the chat in the PSGL Discord and say, oh, when's the next season starting? 13th of June, early access, 16th of June, standard edition. That is what I can give you in terms of date. Nothing has been announced. I don't know anything about PSGL, their plans going forward. I've been let into WOR's plans, however, so I know what they're doing. And they are opening times, I think, at the start of the game, if I'm not mistaken, because I am going to be doing commentary there, and I can't still reveal where, unfortunately, but I know where I'm going to be for WR at least, which is great. And for PSGL going forward for F1 23, well, I can announce exclusively on this live stream that I will be there once again next season. I don't care what team I get put in, even if it's F8 or F9, I will absolutely take it. But, yeah, It is going to be really good, and you will have me once again on F123 with hopefully better graphics, hopefully as well better HUD as well in terms of making the viewing experience even that bit better within the game as well. If you have enjoyed the stream, of course, like, comment, subscribe, tick that notification bell, of course, if you're brand new to the channel. We are going to be back in, what, maybe 2-3 months time. Who knows when we're going to be back live here on the channel. Who knows when you're going to see my ugly mug once again. But until then, of course, I've been James Head. He has been FER Tom, and we will leave you in the capable hands, of course, our sponsors, GT Omega. And from all of us here at PSGL, thank you for being a part of our journey, and we look forward to continuing with you for Season 34 on F1 23. But until then, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.
This broadcast was brought to you by GT Omega, proudly supporting PSGL.